Well, elections may be well over across the country, and the people know who will be representing them in the 9th Assembly. But that's just on one level. On another level, those elected representatives do not know who will be the Senate President, the Speaker, the Deputy Senate President, Deputy Speaker, and so on. So let's take you to the hallowed chambers of the National Assembly and bring you the latest. First, we take a look at the contenders, and we begin with the Senate. There you have it. Senator Ahmed Lawal from Yobe, flanked by Senator Ali Ndume from Borno State, as well as Senator Orji Uzokalu from Abia State, and Senator Danjuma Goje from Gombe State. Let's now head over to the lower house, that's the House of Representatives, and give you a feel of those who are contending to be the Speaker. We have Honorable Nkiruka Onyejiocha from Abia State, as well as Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila from Lagos, Honorable Ndudi Elumelu from Delta, Honorable Abdurazak Namdas from Adamawa, Honorable Bago Mohammed from Niger State, that's North Central, as well as Honorable Yusuf Yakubu Buba, he's from Adamawa State in the Northeast, as well as Idris Ahmed Wase from Plateau State in the North Central. There you have the contenders right there. We know the contenders, but then what are the chances of these contenders emerging as leaders? So let's find out from our guests tonight who are joining us from Abuja. That's the nation's capital. We have Senator Sani of the People's Redemption Party. He's a member of the 8th Assembly representing Kaduna Central in the Senate. Thank you for joining us on the program tonight.
Thank you for having me.
And right next to him is Honorable Abubakar Lawal of the People's Democratic Party. He's representing Yola North, South, and Jire in the House of Representatives. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us on the program.
Sorry, I'm of the APC, please.
Of the APC, rather. Pardon me. Well, let's get right to it. Senator Sani, about this time 4 years ago, now you put out a statement on the leadership tussle of the 8th Assembly. If you don't mind, I'd like to read that statement for you 4 years ago about this time. Now, this is what you said. You said Senator Ahmed Lawal and George Akume have emerged through a transparent process. He went on to say the boycott by Saraki and the acrimony in the build-up to the process demands the party needs to do a lot. You were talking about the APC, which you are a member of then. Do a lot to heal the wounds and get all other senators along. I'd like to ask, do you think the APC has learned from the last time?
Well, from what I've seen, there has been a lot of statements coming from the APC, making positions that they have learned their mistakes, and this time around they're going to make some corrections and then achieve what they want to achieve. But in the real sense, I don't think lessons were learned from what I can see on the ground. If lessons were learned, there will be only one candidate from the APC. As long as you have 3 contenders from the APC, there is the likelihood of a repeat of what happened in 2015. And also, when you hear such statement that this time around we are not going to give anybody from the opposition any committee, and that it is all going to be winner takes all, I don't think that will be helpful to the favored candidate on the side of the executive. And again, from the very time you have a choice of one person, and then you now give him a crown of a stooge or a lackey, there will be some form of repulsion from the side of the other senators.
Right.
Mind you, whoever is going to emerge as a Senate president or any position of that is a game of numbers. And for the APC, the ruling party, to get it right this time around, it must allow its own favored candidate to sit down with other contenders and strike a deal, and also give him the free hand to reach out to the opposition.
Okay, I'd like to ask
control a substantial amount
Senator Sani, if you'll give me a moment, please. I'd like to ask Honorable Lawal this question. He's a member of the APC, the ruling party. Now, do you agree with Senator Sani, saying the party has not learned?
Absolutely, I agreed with him, because in a democratic setup, there is no way someone can come out boldly and say, this is my favored candidate. There is need to lobby some of the other contendants and ensure that there is justice and also there is practically democracy there. But for somebody to come out and say, look, I want so person to be, you can zone the leadership to a particular zone, say Northeast, but you cannot point out and say, Mr. A, I want him to be the speaker or deputy speaker, as the case may be.
Now, Honorable Lawal, I'm getting a sense that some members of the House are not exactly happy with the pronouncement of the leadership of the party as to who they would want to be the Speaker of the House. Is that correct?
Absolutely, yes. Absolutely correct.
And because, you are one of them?
In democracy, there is need for them to give them an equitable hearing. Allow them actually to sit down, do the horse trading, and then come out with somebody that they feel is credible and is acceptable to everybody, but not to impose. Why you want to impose or to say winner takes all? I'm a member of the APC, there is no doubt about it. But that statement, with due respect, is not fair and is not even equitable.
All right, so let's do this. Let's take a look at the chances of the contenders. Senator Sani, as a member of the Senate, I mean, you saw these contenders that we rolled out earlier on. You have inside information. So can you walk us through the chances of these contenders? Who do you think is strongest to emerge as a Senate president?
Well, it is not about the strength. It is about the ability of any of these contenders to reach out to all sides. But from what I've seen, I think there is a likelihood of the APC committing the same mistakes they have done. It is not enough for the president to say, I'm alone, is my candidate. But the president should also be able to speak to Ndume and speak to Goji and not just impose on them. When you have people you call senators, matured men who have passed through trials and struggles of life, you can't treat them like children. And mind you, the PDP control a substantial amount of seat. And any candidate of the APC that refuses to reach out to them and to, in some ways, make concession to them, certainly he is simply heading to failure.
All right.
So as far as I'm concerned, the three people are good, but the word of the president supporting one is not enough. If the APC will have to produce a Senate president, then he has to talk to all the three of them.
Honorable Lawal.
Either this is the person I recommend to you, not I impose on you, and I want you to humbly and respectably support him.
Right.
I believe they will do that.
Now, thank you for giving us that view from the Senate, but I'd like us to shift quickly to the House of Representatives. Honorable Lawal, in 30 seconds, you've seen these contenders. I'm sure you have dealings with them on a daily. Who do you think might emerge the Speaker?
Well, I think it's not fair for me to come out and say so person will emerge the Speaker. But I believe most of them, they have intimidating credentials. One, maybe the ability to know the rules of the House, to know the Constitution, like if you talk about Bajamila.
All right.
There is no doubt about it. He's a lawyer, an outstanding lawyer, and he knows the rules of the House. But that is not enough.
Okay.
There is need also to have the ability to carry at least a sense of belonging for all members to feel, yes, they can be fairly treated.
Honorable Lawal, I'd like you to hold your thoughts there. We'll take a quick break right now. In the final weeks of the National Assembly, attention shifts to security across the country. But how much can be achieved in the time left? We'll find out after the break. Join us again. Welcome back to the program, everyone. Let's continue with the conversation. And we're shifting from the 9th Assembly leadership tussle to the security situation in the country. But we're still staying in the confines of a National Assembly and what exactly is being done to handle that. We still have Senator Sani and Honorable Abubakar Lawal, both members of the National Assembly, with us. They're joining us from Abuja, that's the nation's capital. And to give us a security perspective is a former Commissioner of Police, Mr. Akeremale. He also joins us from Abuja. Thank you for joining us on the program. Mr. Akeremale, I'd like to show you briefly a tweet from Senator Sani. I believe this was released yesterday, and this is what he said in the tweet. He said, "The nation is still using archaic and rudimentary security strategy to confront banditry." He went on to say, "We can't use 20th century solutions to a 21st century crime. The use of drones, interceptors, and satellite navigational equipment is indispensable, and the time is now." He was referring to the security situation in the north. How so? Is this true? And if it is, how did we find ourselves in this situation?
Well, that observation is correct, that we need to move forward. The society is dynamic. Said there, like this man said in This Is Our Chance. He said, "The society outside is moving fast, my lord, and we must move with it." That was Dampa in his novel, This Is Our Chance. So we cannot be stagnant. So we must move, and using archaic equipment for security is not the proper thing to do now. Well, but drones are very, very important. Drones is a modern invention. I was once in one of these developed countries when a vehicle was stolen, and I could see an helicopter beam its lights on searchlight on that particular vehicle, and at that particular moment the road was blocked. There was no road block in that city, but for that purpose and at that point in time, the road was blocked, and the helicopter beamed its light on that particular vehicle that was stolen, and they were able to track it down.
Mr. Akeremale, how did we get to this point? How did we get to this point? That's a question. The relationship with the governor of Kaduna State is well known, but then has there ever been a point you thought, let's drop aside the differences and work for a better security in the state in 30 seconds?
Security officer, what I can do as a senator is to use the opportunity of my presence in the National Assembly to do all I can to contribute via legislations and motions and bills towards the strengthening of security in areas where it's lacking. We have been facing cases of kidnappings and killings.
Right.
And Kaduna has virtually become a killing field.
Senator Sani.
So that is what I can do, and I keep on doing it. And I believe that if we can all work together, we can achieve success.
Well, I apologize for cutting you short again, but that's much we can take. Mr. Akeremale is a final guest. He's a former Commissioner of Police of Nasarawa State. Thank you so much for joining us on the program. Well, that's the program for tonight. The discussion continues tomorrow. Have a wonderful night.